Hosted by funny man Groucho Marx, this quiz show's most important asset was the humor injected by Groucho before the contestants even started to play the simple game, You Bet Your Life. Most of the guests seemed to love to have Groucho make fun of them. Of course, there was always the chance for the contestant to say the secret word. It's a common thing, something you see every day. With announcer George Fenneman, the show was on television for 11 years. And now, here's You Bet Your Life.
Here he is, Groucho Marx, in You Bet Your Life. Presented by DeSoto and the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
One card for you in 58 and style and beauty to captivate. It's delightful, it's still lovely, it's DeSoto.
And here he is, the one, the only.
Well, here I'm again with a chance for each of our couples to win up to $10,000. And if any of them say the secret word, they'll win an extra $100. Okay, Duck. Scram. George, who's first?
Well, Groucho, Louise Randall Pearson is waiting to talk to you now, and her partner is a special guest, a good friend of yours, Mr. Sammy Kahn.
Well,
So approach him in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. Sammy, glad to see you.
Glad to see you.
Glad to see you. We'd both be sued by Phil Silver. You know, I rarely have any of my friends on the show, principally because I don't have any friends. But occasionally I do make an exception, and Sam here happens to be a very good fair-weather friend. Incidentally, he also happens to be one of the country's leading songwriters. Isn't that true, Sam?
Unquestionably.
He's also very modest. And you are Louise Randolph Pearson, huh?
Yes.
That's a very imposing moniker, Louise. Where are you from?
Well, I was born on Adams Street in Quincy.
You were born on the street in Quincy?
No, I was born on Adams Street, Quincy, Massachusetts.
Oh, I thought you said Quincy. That was a fashionable disease a few years ago. Now, what do you think? Why are they applauding? You any idea?
No,
Friends of yours from Massachusetts out there?
no, I don't think so.
It's probably J.P. Mark one.
I think they're just trying to confuse me.
Oh. Are you married?
No, I've been a widow for 10 years.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, what do you do for a living? How do you get along?
Oh, I write. I write a daily column for the Santa Monica Evening Outlook and a couple of feature articles a week about interesting personalities.
Would you like to quit working and try another crack at matrimony, Louise?
Well, I'll tell you, you know how it is. You sit around
No,
in
I absolutely don't know how it is.
Oh. Well, you sit around in the evening, and it's kind of lonesome, and you think, oh, if I only had somebody deductible beside me.
Ah, love is a proud and gentle thing. You say you want somebody deductible. Louise, you'd better qualify that statement.
Well, you see, if they didn't want to work, and I could take off $600 as a dependent, you see, and if they did want to work, that would be nice, and we could split the thing, you see, and have a joint return, and I'd only have to pay half as much.
You see.
I mean, it's a help.
Oh, it's no question. Apparently, you consider a husband almost as important as a bad debt. Sammy, let's get back to you. What are some of the hits that you've written?
Well, I've written songs like By Mir bist du schön.
You always write in German?
No, only when I'm stealing from a German.
Oh.
And,
What German was that you stole that from?
I never wanted to know his name so he couldn't accuse me.
Wait a minute. You said the secret word. You said a secret word, which happens to be named. So you get $50, Louise.
Woo.
And Sammy, and I know you need this desperately, you get $50. Well, tell us
She
some-
didn't like me when she met me.
She didn't? I don't believe that. Is this true, Louise?
No, I thought he was awfully serious, and I thought he knew so much more than I did that I wasn't going to have a chance.
Well, you're partners, you know.
Are we?
I didn't know that till she took the 50.
Well, tell us some of the other songs that...
Well, I wrote by Mayor Mr. Shane.
You said that.
I wrote it twice, actually.
Oh,
Once
you
in
mean the
German,
second voice? 2 voices and 2 choruses, huh?
And the voices are voiced in the...
Yes, it's true, and the voice is yet to come, yes.
And then I wrote...
By Mayor Mr. Shane, I know that, huh? He's only had 1 song.
You'd be surprised how one song can take you a long way.
Yes.
And
And if you say it again, it will. Huh?
then I wrote a weather song called Let It Snow, Let It Snow, Let It Snow. I wrote a song like Give Me 5 Minutes More. I wrote songs like I've heard that song before, etc., etc., etc. That's my best one, etc.
Well, just about everything you write turns out to be a hit. Huh? How long do you sit at a piano before you come up with one of these blockbusters?
I don't sit at a piano. I sit at a typewriter.
Typewriter? No wonder Beethoven couldn't write a hit song. How do you get music out of a typewriter?
I don't get music. I get words. I write the words.
In that case, you don't have to steal from Tchaikovsky, huh? You just steal from Shakespeare and Edgar Guest. Sammy, you've written a lot of songs for pictures. Didn't you win an Oscar a few years back?
Yes, I did win an Oscar, and I am proud to say that I am one of the few songwriters who has also won.
That's so. You don't have to be grammatical. They know you're a songwriter.
Who has also won an Emmy.
What did you get the Oscar for?
I got the Oscar for 3 Coins in the Fountain.
You mean you just took 3 coins and threw it in a fountain and they sent you an Oscar? Now, what song do you think will cop the award this year?
Well, frankly, I think that the very, very best song this year is the song All the Way from The Joker's Wild.
I saw the picture and I've heard the song. Sinatra had a record of it, too, didn't he? Now, why did you pick that over all the others? There are hundreds of songs this year.
I wrote it.
Now, he's certainly the most modest songwriter you've ever seen. Who was the mediocrity who wrote the music?
Some talented fellow named Jimmy Van Heusen.
Could you sing the song for us?
I would love to sing this song
You would,
for you.
huh? Well, I'd love to hear it, Sammy. Could you play it?
I would love to play it.
Very agreeable. And Fenneman, can you bring in a typewriter? Mr. Kahn is going to play it. You don't want a typewriter. Huh?
Typewriter.
You want a piano?
A piano.
George, will you bring out the piano? One thing more, Sam. How long does it take you to write a song?
Well, it varies. Some songs take hours and weeks, but I've also written a song in 11 minutes.
What song was that?
Kiss me once and kiss me twice and kiss me once again. It's been a long, long
You wrote
time.
that in 11 minutes?
In 11
Well,
minutes.
how come you did that so quickly? Well, okay. You play some of your songs, and I'll help you sing them. That is,
You're
if
going to help me sing them?
if you play them in the key of C.
I only play in the key of F.
In that case, you'll have to sing them alone. I'll sing in the key of C if I sing, and if Cole Porter doesn't win the award, we'll all be surprised.
Love and marriage, they go together like a horse and carriage. Be my love.
What about All the Way?
All the Way, say, Groucho, I'd love to do All the Way, but could I do it with the orchestra?
Orchestra, will you join them? Have you got any glue out there? He wants to be joined.
When somebody loves you, it's no good unless he loves you all the way. Happy to be near you when you need someone to cheer you all the way. Who knows where the road will lead us? Only a fool would say. But if you let me love you, it's for sure I'm gonna love you all the way. All the way.
You know that sonata Sinatra sings that better alone than we sing it together? Well, it's been nice talking to both of you, but now it's time to play You Bet Your Life. You selected professions of famous people. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. You ready?
Yes.
What was Alexander Graham Bell's profession?
I would say he was an inventor.
I thought Don Amici invented the telephone. All right. What was George Ade's profession?
He was a writer and a playwright.
That's right.
You now have 2 right.
Pretty good.
Yes.
Francis Scott Key wrote the Star-Spangled Banner, but composing was not his profession. What was it?
A journalist.
No, he was a lawyer.
Well, now we're back to 1 wrong at this point. Don't get the next one wrong or you're out of the game.
What was John L. Sullivan's profession?
Boxing.
That's right.
You have 1 right.
What made Jacques Cartier famous?
He was a jeweler, a designer of jewelry.
Jacquees.
My guess is he was a jeweler.
I thought he was a dancer.
I claim he invented the telephone. Actually, he was an explorer. He discovered the St. Lawrence River. You got mixed up with that expensive feller in New York.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was another Cartier.
Oh, sure. Why, your wife must have a lot of jewelry. Who was Ruggiero Leoncavallo?
He was a composer.
Yeah.
You now have 1 right.
Who was Charles Dana Gibson?
He was an artist.
Charles Dana Gibson. All right, illustrator, artist.
You're halfway to $1,000 now. Get the next 2 right and it's yours.
How did James Watt make his living?
He was an inventor.
That's right. You don't remember what he invented, huh?
I believe I do. But if it's important,
No, it isn't, no.
I don't know what he did then.
He invented what they put inside electric bulbs, didn't he?
Yes, he invented the steam engine. Now, what was the profession of George A. Custer?
He was a
soldier.
fighter.
Yes, he also made pies, didn't he? Custer pie?
Did they get that right?
Yeah, they got
Oh, then you got 4 in a row. You win $1,000.
4 in a row. Now you won $1,000.
She's liking me better all the time.
Oh, yes.
You can keep it and quit, or else you can come back later and try to double your money. You may even get a chance at $10,000. So go over there and sit down and think about it, kids. And whatever you decide to do, thanks for being on the show. Out of it, Ed. A lot of things in life aren't what they seem to be. Beauty doesn't always mean quality. That's true of women and certainly true of cars. Looks can be deceiving. But here's one car that has as much quality as it has beauty. The magnificent new 58 DeSoto. It has what we call the look and feel of the future. The name DeSoto has stood for quality for a long time. Quality all the way. Not only in the big things like the newly designed engine and torsion air ride, push-button driving, and new styling. But DeSoto quality shows up in details, too.
Such things as DeSoto door handles and beautiful new upholsteries are made with the same high standards in materials and craftsmanship.
DeSoto looks big on the outside and is big on the inside. Just look how roomy this is. Plenty of headroom and plenty of legroom.
So whatever DeSoto you choose, you can be certain of the finest in quality, roominess, and driving comfort.
Drive it yourself, and you'll see what we mean when we say the 58 DeSoto has the look and feel of the future. By the way, George, speaking of George, I want to congratulate you. In the annual Fame magazine poll, 500 newspaper critics around the country just voted Fenneman the best announcer in television. This makes the 6th year he's won the award, and I'm proud of you, George.
Well, thank you.
Now, if you want, you can say something nice about me. We have plenty of time. Go ahead, George.
Well,
if you want to take a minute to think.
I'm thinking.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the best announcer in television just got fired. Now, George, before you leave, who's next?
I know you didn't mean that, so you're... Well, there you are.
Don't bet. Don't bet on it.
Groucho, we have a couple of single girls who are anxious to talk to you. They're Dolores Olson and Sandy Silence. So, girls, you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life. Say the secret word and divide an extra $100. It's a common word, something you always have with you. D-E, capital L-O-R-E-S, Olson, and S-A-N, capital D-E-E, Silent. Well, that's strange. Why do you spell your names like that?
Well, I spelled my name that way
the
because...
French way instead of the Spanish way.
Now, what is it? Now, let's start with you, because you're the shortest, huh? You're both timber toppers, aren't you, huh? Why do you spell your name that way?
Well, I spelled it I-E-E-Y and E-E, and finally came up with this. It was the most original.
Oh. You do that, too, huh? Well, let's find out a few facts about you kids. Which one is the oldest?
I'm 20.
And how about you?
I'm 22.
Well, why are you here together? Are you sisters?
No.
Brothers?
No.
Why are you here together?
Mr. Fitterman found out that we're roommates and
I beg
invited
your
us to be on
pardon?
your show.
What was that?
Mr. Fitterman.
Mr. Fitterman? What show is he connected with, huh? You don't mean Rademacher, do you? Who is Mr. Fitterman? Where did you meet him?
We simply met him and he invited us to be on your show.
You don't mean... You mean Fenneman?
That's right.
Does he tell you his name was Fitterman?
I can't pronounce it.
He's trying to hide something, huh? You mean he found out... well, how did he find... Why did he want you here? He found out what?
We're both so much alike in so many ways.
You were roommates. Is
Yes.
that what you said before? Roommates? Where's Fitterman? Get him out here. Huh? Hey, Fitterman, come out here. You changed your name, I see, huh? Why did you do this, George?
I didn't do anything, honest.
They told me They told me that you said that your name was Fitterman. Now, you must have been doing it for some reason. When I use a different name, there's a reason for it. And I'm sure there is when you do it. Aren't you a married man?
Up till now, I was, yes.
Then why do you use a nom de plume?
I didn't.
How did you find out they were roommates?
Well,
George, I'm not criticizing you. I just want to know what technique you use, that's all.
No, actually, a friend of mine told me about the girls.
A friend of yours knew these girls, and he introduced you to them?
Yeah, well, he told me. He didn't even... I wasn't even there.
You know that old line, the light that lies in a man's eyes and lies and lies and lies. Well, there it is, folks. The private life of George Fitterman. Now, Sandy, where did you meet Dolores?
Well, a couple of years ago, we worked at NBC in Portland.
You worked at NBC in Portland. Well, it's a wonderful network, NBC, and I'm glad you're with us. Portland, I salute you. NBC adds another affiliate. What station does NBC have in Portland?
It wasn't a station, it was a National Biscuit Company.
Well, NBC just lost another affiliate. We'll have to put a Georgia Cracker in there instead. Now, what did you do for the National Biscuit Company?
I packed cookies for about 3 weeks, and then I was fired.
Why, were you putting too many cookies in the box?
No, it was
Why did they fire you?
It was a personality clash.
With who?
My boss.
I mean, well, what happened? I mean, was he, Why did you get bounced from the cookie factory?
I think he thought I didn't know how to pack cookies too well.
Well, it's not easy, you know, putting those things in a box. What did you do for the NBC Biscuit Company, Dolores?
Oh, I fed cookies to machines and watched them go down a conveyor belt.
Well, that's interesting. It's something like Niagara Falls, isn't it? Well, now we have you in L.A., Dolores. How did you go about making your fortune after you landed here?
I got a job working at an aircraft office as a private secretary.
Oh, well, that's much better, isn't it, than feeding cookies into an iron machine? How long did this job last?
3 weeks.
3 weeks. Why'd you quit?
Well, I didn't really quit. They let me go after they found out I couldn't type.
You got a job as a secretary and you couldn't type?
Yeah.
And it took your boss 3 weeks to discover you couldn't type? Didn't he discover anything in all that time?
Well, I can't type. I don't know shorthand. I don't like to file.
He must have hated to see you go, huh? You must have had more coffee breaks than all of Brazil. Well, if you were supposed to be a private secretary and you couldn't type, what happened to the boss's correspondence?
Oh, he could type real good.
Oh, he could. Well, what were you doing while he was typing?
Well, there are a lot of things to do around an office.
That's true, but not while your boss was typing. Well, what was your next job?
I went to work at Here's Aircraft Company in their blueprints department. I handled missile and airborne prints.
You handled missiles? If I could get the audience to chip in, would you like to go to Moscow?
When?
I mean, and be in their employ over there in the missile department? Well, you're charming girls, and I've enjoyed talking to you. Now, let's see how much you know. Are you both engaged or anything? You going steady at the moment?
No.
Neither of you? Well, I'm sure you will be after this show is seen. Now, you selected the dictionary quiz, and since you don't know anything about an office, I imagine you're going to be great at this. Now, I'm going to say something, and you're going to give me the meanings. Mr. Fitterman, you've met here. You miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Now, what is a statute?
A statute?
S-T-A-T-U-T-E.
Well, I think it's a kind of a law.
You don't have to go any further. Say, you've got plenty on the ball there, kid.
You have one right.
How do you like that, huh? Your friends are doing well, aren't they, George? Huh?
I'm not going to say anything.
What kind of an animal is a dromedary?
A dromedary?
Talk it over. Come on, girls.
Kind of a rat?
Let's keep George out of it. It's a camel. You should have known that.
A what?
A camel. Your friends are not doing well, George. What is the word meaning an 8-sided figure?
Octagon.
Octagon is right. I thought that was an octopus. Octopus.
Now back with one right.
They know the hard ones. They just don't know the easy ones. Now, what is myopia?
Could you spell it, please?
I'll try. M-Y-O-P-I-A. Myopia. The adjective is myopic.
Myopic?
Yes.
I think it has something to do with singularly or one.
No, it means nearsightedness.
Myopia?
What are potables? P-O-T-A-B-L-E-S. Or what is apotable? You don't know, guess.
Oh, a kind of a settee or something?
No, it's a beverage.
A beverage?
Yes, it is.
And it's in the dictionary?
It's in the dictionary, yes. It's in the dictionary, and it's also in any ice cream store and supermarket. I'm sorry you missed 2 in a row because of the relationship between you 3. So I'm going to ask you one question for $100. What was the profession of the famous painter, Rembrandt?
I think he was an artist.
No, I'm sorry. He wrote Beethoven's 8th Symphony. But thanks for being with us. So you win $100, and we were delighted to have you on the show. Hey, you're a couple of fine guys.
So now, in just a moment, we'll find out if our first couple will try for $10,000. Here's the lovely star, Diana Lynn.
There's something I'm awfully excited about. Look. I'll show you. It's my new 58 DeSoto. I think it's the most beautiful car on the road. And I've never driven a car that's so exciting. Do you want to try it? You drive. You'll enjoy it. Don't you love these new textured fabrics? And all this room? And of course, DeSoto has the easiest, well, the most dependable controls on the road. Push-button driving and a wonderful new kind of power steering. It does all the work, but you have a natural feel of the road. No matter where you drive, DeSoto rides like a dream. So steady, too. Even on fast turns, it doesn't lean. You always have complete control of your DeSoto. It really is an exciting car, isn't it? Why don't you see the beautiful new DeSoto at your DeSoto dealers?
The car for you in 58 has style and beauty to captivate. It's delightful, it's lovely, it's immortal.
George, who's going to try for the 10,000?
Groucho,
Or
Louise.
the 2,000, or the 1,000?
Louise Randall Pearson and Sammy Kahn. Would you come in, please?
Sammy Kahn.
Give you their decision.
Sam, you're not satisfied with what you've won.
I'm satisfied, but I'm also older.
Well, you've won $1,000 so far. Now, if you decide to try for the 10 and you fail, you wind up with a total of 500. Now, what are you going to do?
We're going to try for it.
You're going to try? Well, pick a number.
5.
If any number besides the one you pick comes up, the question is worth 2,000. If your number comes up, the question is worth 10,000. Give it a try. Go on. Your number was 5, and it landed on 2, so this question is worth $2,000. Now, there's a prominent line painted on all large ships to indicate the depth to which the vessel may be submerged by loading. For $2,000, what is the name for this line? Talk it over. It's very well known. Give up? Take a guess.
Submersion?
No, it's the Plimsoll line.
Anybody knows that.
Yeah.
Why, sure.
It's a well-known. I'm sorry you missed it, so you wind up with 500. That isn't too bad. Congratulations. And thanks for
Thanks a
being
lot.
on the show. And Sammy, your songs are just wonderful.
Thank you.
And I hope you win the award.
What do you do about dry hair? Fly-away hair. Maybe you've tried oily hair creams. Well, they leave a greasy coating on the hair, like this. But here's the real answer. It's Tame Cream Rinse. Just rinse on Tame after your shampoo. Tame conditions your hair, leaves it easy to comb and manage, never greasy, always soft and shining. Try Tame after your next shampoo. Tame Cream Rinse.
Tonight, You Bet Your Life was brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America.
Friends, go in and see a DeSoto Plymouth dealer tomorrow. And when you do, tell them Groucho sent you.
This is George Fenneman inviting you to join us next week for Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, and to listen to Groucho each week on NBC Radio. Chrysler Corporation also sponsors television programs on other networks. Consult your local TV listings for time and stations. And here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Pace yourself by the traffic around you. Don't race, don't lag, don't ride the bumper of the car ahead.